Hey everyone, Tim Schofield here. It's time to take a look at the gaming monitor that I've been using regularly for the past couple months. That's the BenQ EX2780Q monitor. It's a 27-inch 1440p 144Hz monitor. And overall, I see it as an extremely versatile monitor because my gaming monitor is used for a lot of gaming, don't get me wrong, but I don't just solely use it for gaming, so it's nice to have kind of an all-around monitor packaged into a gaming monitor. Thanks to BenQ for sending this unit over for review. Now, over the past couple of years, there's two things that I've recommended to people when it comes to monitors. First of all, get an arm stand and mount it on an arm. First of all, it clears up your desk. You have a lot more space, and it just looks nicer overall. And then, of course, the second one, get a higher refresh rate monitor. If you're getting 120 frames a second on your desktop and you have a 60 hertz monitor, definitely upgrade that monitor. So if you can push higher than 60 frames a second, I highly recommend upgrading your monitor before you upgrade your desktop. Anyways, let's get into the full review of the EX2780Q monitor from BenQ. Let's get started. Now, I don't just use my gaming monitor to game. I'm also going to watch some videos. I'll probably do some light editing, photo, video editing, and of course work. I'll read through some articles, I'll look at emails, all on my gaming monitor. When it comes to design of this BenQ monitor, it overall looks very professional. It's not necessarily very flashy. It has a professional look to it. The bezels are a little bit bigger than I would have liked, but I'll kind of let that one slide. The bottom bezel, of course, is a little bit thick, but you do have those built-in speakers. The metal stand, when connected, actually doesn't raise or lower. You can tilt the monitor, but that is it. I found that when I did use the stand, it was fine on my desk level-wise, but of course, I actually would have preferred if you could raise and lower it, but I have it on that arm mount. Connectors on the back, you have two HDMI slots, one DisplayPort, and one USB-C slot, which is kind of on the lower end of ports. It's fine for my needs, but I know some people might need a little more ports on the back. You also do have a headphone jack. Something unique about this monitor is that it includes a remote, which is nice because then you don't have to fumble around the back of your monitor trying to find that specific menu button, anything like that, especially because if you're listening out of the speakers, you want to change the volume with the remote, you can do so. You can go into the menu and change all of those settings. There's even a little scroll wheel down below the monitor as well that you can change the volume on the fly real quickly, so you don't necessarily need to actually grab that remote. The remote's nice because of the HDR capabilities this monitor has, because you can change it between different modes. It has modes such as game or cinema. And what it does is it intelligently looks at what's on the monitor and tries to balance the lowlights and the highlights. With that being said, I find it pretty hit or miss depending on the content that I'm viewing. Different games, I like different modes actually. Like Tarkov, I like the game HDR. With Rocket League, I liked the one of the other modes. You know, but I can quickly swap through them and figure out what I like personally viewing, or when watching videos, sometimes I just like having it off. It's pretty hit or miss, so it's not the best in terms of HDR, but if you do want a good HDR monitor, you're probably gonna end up spending more money. This is an IPS monitor, and before this one, I was actually using a VA panel, and the transition to IPS, I actually do prefer IPS overall. The color reproduction is just noticeably better. The viewing angles are better, but that's not really a big selling point for me, but the color reproduction is just so much better on an IPS panel that I think going forward, I'll probably always want to use an IPS panel. You do have 10-bit color accuracy at 1440p and also 95% of the DCI P3 color space as well. Something else packaged into this monitor are speakers, and generally when you have monitor speakers, they're not good at all. They do the job, they emit sound, but when it comes to these speakers, they're 2.1, so you have two speakers and then a 5-watt sub built in, and these are the best speakers I've heard built into any monitor I've tried, and I've tried a good number of monitors. So it's really nice because I actually don't use speakers. I feel like they clutter up my desk a little too much, so I don't have them right now, external speakers. So it's nice in the case where I don't want to have my headset on, when I want to just maybe listen to some music or casually watch a video, or even do some light gaming coming out of my speakers as opposed to having my headset on. And with the speakers, I have a hot switch to actually switch between my headset and the speakers on my Stream Deck, so I can just quickly swap between the two within settings. I don't have to actually go into settings every time. Again, I like the monitor to be a little more versatile. First of all, having it be 27 inches. I like the little bit larger screen. I don't know if I want to go much larger than that with a gaming monitor, but with 27 inches, I want to have 1440p. With 1080p on 27 inches, it gets a little bit stretched. It doesn't look that great, especially if you're not gaming, if you're looking at Windows. And like I said, I don't just game. So if I'm looking at emails and stuff, 1080p with 27-inch monitors just doesn't look that great. So it's nice to have that extra quality, and I like to play games in 1440p. So overall, I sacrifice those frames per second to get that higher quality in gameplay. And then of course, that ties into the refresh rate. So 1440p and 144 Hz is the sweet spot for me, especially because I stream on Twitch, which is taxing on the system. So I'm gonna sacrifice some frames to actually stream on Twitch when I'm playing on stream. But I do find when I can play in that higher quality and still get 144 frames, that is exactly what I look for right now in my gaming. This is a FreeSync monitor, which worked right out of the box with G-Sync for me. I have a 2080 Ti graphics card. It worked great. You just go ahead and check the box. Make sure you go into settings. Make sure you switch it to 144 Hz. Make sure you go ahead and check FreeSync or G-Sync, whatever you need to. And once you have everything all set up, when it comes to gaming, it has been great. No matter what game I have played, Rocket League, Tarkov, Apex Legends, PUBG, Fortnite, Call of Duty, you name it. Can you see a trend in the types of games I like? But either way, those games are higher end. So of course they use a lot more textures, a lot more graphics, a lot more low highlights. So I was really able to test it and push that monitor, and it has really exceeded my expectations. I do really like this panel. So anyways, that is my full review on the EX2780Q monitor from BenQ. Again, really a fan of it. Depending on what you're looking for, if you have separate speakers, keep those because they're probably gonna sound better than the monitor speakers. But like I said, in comparison to other monitors, these definitely have better speakers than all of those. And again, hits my sweet spot, 27 inches, 1440p, 144 Hz, an IPS panel, so it's really touching on just about all my needs for my gaming monitor. And of course, if I want to watch a video, if I want to check some emails, I can do so and be pleased with the color reproduction and of course that refresh rate. Anyways, that's everything I want to talk about. If you do want to check out my desk setup tour, everything that I actually do use to stream, to game, I'll link to that down below. Of course, be sure to click that subscribe button, a lot more coming soon. As always, guys, thank you very much for watching.